Hi guys, it's Tragic Plum Bob here and we've got a brand new video. So in today's video, I'm not actually in The Sims 4. I am in Paralives. I guess you guys have seen so many videos come out recently and I was going to do a Paramaker review on it, but I'm still trying to figure out everything. It's so it's the same but different to The Sims. So far, I've been really enjoying it. I think it's, been great to see some of the edits, such as the colour wheel and stuff like that. But in today's video, what I wanted to do and thought it would be really fun is to actually create the Goth family. So in this video we'll be creating Bella, we'll be creating Mortimer, Cassandra and Alexander. So one thing I will say is in this I am still very much trying to figure out how to use all of the buttons and figure all of the bits and bobs out. I don't think it's perfect, but we gave it a good go and it was so much fun using it. So right now we're creating Bella. So if you don't know, Bella she's been in The Sims since the very beginning. So much lore with this character. And yeah, she's just come throughout, hasn't she? She's just like an iconic. So that's kind of why I started with this family as well, because I just think when you think of families and townies in The Sims 4, you think of the Goth family, don't you? They are the first ones that come to mind, and I was like, how cool would it be to just try and recreate them using all of the new features that we've got, but in The Sims. So at the moment you can see that I'm currently trying to use, all of the facial features, trying to figure it out. So I did have a picture of Bella up on the screen at the moment, whilst she was, what she currently looks like in The Sims 4. So not the first version of her. Do you remember a few months back, or no, it's not even months back, it's years ago, when they updated the Goth family? Because I think the first family they made, there was quite a lot of complaints on how she looked and how they all looked, and that they were like, this doesn't represent the Goth family. So they went back and updated. So what I did is I used that version and tried to recreate as much as possible. However, I will say I struggled a bit with the nose on Bella. I actually found all of the characters quite difficult, and I think it's not so much to do with recreating this. I think it's more to do with I'm still trying to figure out these controls. I think what I actually found the hardest thing about making characters in Paralives is in The Sims you obviously get to touch the actual facial features and you can pull it where you want it to go, whereas on this you're using that side screen. And one top tip I will give you is just read where it's telling you you're going to be pulling, because there was multiple times when I was creating these where I would pull it and then I was like, oh, this isn't the right place. And the one thing I really struggled with was the cheeks. So what I wanted was Bella to have a cheek structure. So I wanted her to have, so that when you looked at her, she's got that really sucked in glamorous hey, I'm Bella Goth. But I couldn't work out the cheek function. So there is a facial feature that you can use that sucks in the cheeks, but then it's just a bit too much. It's a bit overkill. It's a bit like a skin feature like we have in The Sims. So it's similar to that kind of thing. And I was just like, that's not what I was kind of thinking. So struggled with that a bit. The other thing that I struggled a lot with all of the characters is the body shape, and in particular the shoulders. So Bella looks absolutely ripped. She looks like she's lifting 120 kg dumbbells and things like that. She looks like she is a Gymshark girl, and I don't know, I don't really think that is very much Bella, is it? I don't know. Does she go to the gym? Well, I guess she probably does, but I don't think she's as ripped as I have made her. And again, I just found it quite difficult to figure that out. You're going to see that now into the video, I'm going to start editing her body. The other thing that was quite interesting, and I'm currently working on that now, is so you've got so many different features that you can do to edit the skin tone, which is so good. I think that it makes skin tones so inclusive. But for me, what I found really difficult was I've now got so many options and I was a bit like, So again, as I say, I tried my hardest and I tried to make Bella look as Bella should look. But I take on feedback if she isn't exactly what you were thinking. But yeah, so as you can see now in the video, we're currently editing the body shape, and what I found really tricky was when I was like moving in the shoulders, when I tried to make her body look more feminine, her shoulders would go like too far back, and then when I tried to like push them out, she then started looking like quite muscular and I guess a little bit masculine. And I feel that with Bella's character, she's very feminine, very like, yeah, look at me, I'm Bella. And I was just struggling to get that. So, and yeah, it was like a real trying to find like that good balance between, she looks slim and glamorous and, looking fit as ever, but not too muscular. So yeah, as I say, found that quite like tricky. And yeah, it was just the shoulders like really threw me. And do you know what, actually, even like the chest, like so one thing I really like about the Paramaker is that you can alter the body so that it can like bend over, so like you can actually have them like slouched over with their back, or like their chest, you can actually move that like up and like or down, and it doesn't make like the breast area like look any different, but like it kind of gives that like different form. And then as you can see, then I was like trying to figure it out, and then when I turned it to the side, I was like, oh, I've made her look like she's pregnant. That wasn't what I was intending to do. But it's really cool that you're able to do these features. I would say at the moment, like clothing is quite limited, like the options that you've got. Although I can't believe I'm even saying that it's limiting, because you've got a colour wheel and you can literally like change it. But ultimately for me, yes, a colour wheel is great, and it does like give you the options to like make all of your paras look different. But with that said, there is only, a certain amount of outfits in here. So like you are limited in what you can put them in. Like there are only a certain amount of designs of dresses. And of course, I think that will be updated. One thing that I, again, not struggled with, but I couldn't decide what to put on Bella was her necklace. I found like the necklaces were very, she's got, I believe, like it looks like quite a fancy necklace in Sims 4. And I don't really think that Paralives has got that kind of like fancy aesthetic that I was looking for. One thing I found really fun actually was the makeup. So I really liked that I could, choose the kind of colours of her lipstick, and I could, create her exactly how she is in The Sims. So like I could choose like the colour of lips that she has. To be fair, I think they had quite close colour matches anyway, but that was quite fun. So I did actually go through and I did give her outfits for each of her categories. So in Paramaker, you've got 4 categories. You've got your like everyday outfit, then I guess you've got your formal attire, then you've got your sports attire, and then you've also got your nightwear. I don't believe you can like in The Sims, like with your general outfits, and then you can do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can have like multiple general outfits. I don't believe at this point in the game you can actually do that. So one thing I guess to point out is if you do want them to have like a swimming costume, I'm going to assume that you've got to put that as sportswear, and then you can't actually have them as gym gear. So that's a little bit limiting, unless like I haven't figured out something. So yeah, as I'm going to keep repeating throughout this video, I'm still trying to figure out this game, and I'm trying to understand where everything is, so you might see something now and then later on I figure it out. I do think as well, in terms of what we're looking at in the video right now on the like brain category, doesn't this just remind you of the first Sims game, Sims 1, where you only had like a limited number of clicks to be able to choose where things were? And I was like, oh, this is so, I remember this and being so frustrated when I was a kid, because I was like, but I want them to have this all in this and then all of this, but you're so limited. And I actually do prefer it, because I feel like in The Sims it's become there's so many different options to have that you're like, oh, this takes so long, and I actually don't even bother like doing, like when they brought in that thing where it was, what do they like, what are the likes, dislikes, all of that jazz. I'll be honest, I don't do that. I'll be honest, even when I'm creating, unless I'm like creating a character for a particular like storyline or something like that, I will like go in and I'll like make sure that all of their traits are exact. But when I'm like creating like characters from films, mate, I just randomise. I am like, nope, I'm here to get a screenshot and save them in my thing. I don't really care. But I think it is because in an ideal world, I would like to save all of the Sims I create with the correct traits, correct things. But in the Sims, it's just so many options. So it's actually been really refreshing to not have as many options. Same with like not having CC in the game. Like obviously there are certain things that I miss and I'd like to have more options, but it's been quite refreshing to jump in a game and just not have too much to be able to work with. So as you can see, we're now working on Mortimer, and I really enjoyed creating this character. I just think like Mortimer is iconic. They always like so not so much Bella, but Mortimer always reminded me of someone from the Addams Family. I can't actually remember what career he has in The Sims. He's just filthy rich, isn't he? Or who is it? Who is actually the rich one? Who is the one that brought in the money? Is it Bella or Mortimer? Let me know in the comments. What's the actual, I should have watched like the lore behind the Goth family before I created this, but no, for me, I was like, I just want to create. Again, I struggled very much with the body shape of this. So I feel that, again, Mortimer looks like he's ripped. He looks like a Gymshark lad, as does Bella. And it was because like I was trying, what I think it is, kind of looking back and kind of thinking about it, is there doesn't seem to be many options for, like that in between, like ripped and then larger bodies. Like there doesn't seem to be like that middle like ground where you're not super muscular but then you haven't got a lot of body fat, so or you do have a lot, like there's nothing in the middle. So I found that like quite difficult to then, because I feel like they're not, when you look at the family in The Sims 4, sorry I keep referencing Sims 4 and I know I can't help it, I miss it a little bit, just a little bit, but in The Sims 4, like as I say, I don't think this family, they look like, your ripped Sims, or they look like Sims that have got high body fat. So I was just really struggling to like make them into that like middle category, because I just kept making them look like absolute machines. But one thing that was really nice was to be able to like go in and choose like a blazer, choose a shirt and tie, and essentially that is very similar to what he currently wears in The Sims 4. Like I was able to replicate his outfits like exact, which, yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, so as you can see, I went back because I completely forgot to put nails in. Do you know how nice it is to like open a brand new game and you've got nails that you can already put on? Do you remember? It's not even that long ago since we had nails put in The Sims. So I do keep going backwards and forwards because, as you can see, like I'm starting to get a bit more confident as the video goes on with the controls, but I do go in and I'm trying to like figure out these body shapes, and I do think like overall I was happy. I'm just hoping that as time goes on and that as I keep playing around with it, I can get used to it a little bit more, because as I say, it's just different, isn't it? So now we're going to be moving on to Cassandra Goth, and I really like how it's carried on, like you can use both Bella and Mortimer to be able to create this character. However, what I would say is you can see me like randomizing here, that when you put them two together, that child does not look like their child. I don't know what genetics the game is using, but the child that comes out, I'm telling you, someone's, done maybe a little bit of a dirty, because I'm telling you, it doesn't look like either of them. I'm like, how on earth is that supposed to be like genetically their child? But I carried on like randomising a few just to kind of give me a good base, because for me, When I'm creating a character, I have to have a good base. I don't get me wrong, I can use like one character and then just alter everything, but my preference is to like get a base that is like similar to the character that I'm going to make, and we go from there. I absolutely love Cassandra. Again, I should have read the lore up on all of the Goth family, and we could have like quickly run through that as well. But I'm pretty sure, doesn't Cassandra get into a relationship with someone who you wouldn't have expected? So I was looking for like different hairstyles for Cassandra, and I always recognise her as either with, you know, like the two buns at the top, like a little like similar to what she's got now. This is how I've always recognised her, even from like Sims. What's the other Sims game? Which is Sims 2, where she looks like a little bit crazy in Sims 2. But was she in Sims 2? But she wasn't a teenager, was she? Was she an adult? But yeah, I guess because I've played obviously all of the games, I think when I recreate like Townies, I kind of mishmash how I recognise them from like the first game, the second. I didn't actually, being really honest, we're going to give a little truth, a little fun fact. I never actually played Sims 3 as much as the others. Like I did play it and I do have it. But yeah, I didn't play it as much as the other games. Not sure why. I think it might have been because when that came out, I think I was at uni for a lot of it, and then I think I would. Do you know what? I think I was probably around 18. I started going out, drinking, clubbing, and all of that stuff. So I didn't really game as much, and then I went to uni again. Of course, I was studying. Of course I was going out. I was messing about with like friends and stuff, and just didn't really game as much. So yeah, I think that's probably the main reason why I didn't play Sims 3. And then I think when I got to the end of uni, The Sims 4 came out, and I was like, this is incredible. Like, because I think back then it was just like all of like The Sims 4 compared to the previous games was just a complete game changer in the way that you could especially create Sims. So yeah, I would say even since the first Sims, I've always loved creating characters. I do enjoy building. I don't think I'm like as good at building as I am characters, and I think that's purely because I just enjoy it. And as I say, yeah, from the first one that came out, I used to always love creating the families. Like, I think what I do when I create in families is I create this little story in my head. I think everyone does this. You create this like story in your head of what they're like, how they're going to be, and I just enjoyed that because I used to just like make up a little like, oh my god, they're going to do this and that and that and that, and that would spur me on to create characters. So as you can see, I've tried to again like copy the outfit. One thing that I thought was interesting was I was going to put Cassandra in fishnets, but you can't actually put teens in fishnet tights. I'm not sure again if that's something that I've missed, I've overlooked, and I can't see. But yeah, I couldn't figure out why I wasn't able to put her in. Maybe it's because she's a teen and it's not appropriate. I'm not sure. Did I wear fishnets when I was a teen? Maybe. Okay, so when I was a teen, I was like proper emo, My Chemical Romance kind of vibe. So, you know, I definitely probably wore fishnets. Oh yeah, so you'll just see now I've been putting her into this dress for her formal outfit, and I loved it. I was like, this is literally iconic Cassandra Goth in The Sims 2. And then I think, yeah, for her nightwear and her sportswear, I just kept it the same. So now we're going to move on to Alexandra Goth, and I'm just going to say straight away, so the way that I designed Alexander was based off, I believe, what he looked like in Sims 2 rather than what he currently looks like in The Sims 1. So if you look at Alexander and you're like, this doesn't look like him, it's not based off of The Sims 4 character, because for me personally, that's not how I remember Alexander, that's not how I know him. How I know him, as if we're best mates. But yeah, I remember how he looks from the Sims 2. And they have like kept him kind of the same, but like I think in The Sims 4, like they gave him like this weird haircut, and I always remember him very much looking like Mortimer. Again, I've really struggled with the cheeks. I found that it made his face shape look really round, and then when I tried to use like one of their face presets to kind of change that overall face, it just changed him completely to how I wanted him to look. So wasn't overall happy with the cheeks on him. But and one thing, sorry, we're kind of diverting again. One thing that I really enjoyed was that you can take screenshots in game, and like they've already got poses, so that was really, really refreshing. I didn't have to download any poses or anything like that. So that was really fun, like to go into the game. So what you do is you go into the game, you go into photo mode, and then you click on the animation and you create screenshots. So if you go onto my Instagram, you can see a post for this video. And yeah, the way that I've created that is I've gone in game, I've gone into photo mode, and yeah, I've basically taken screenshots of each of them and then gone into Canva, edited it so there's no background, etc. But having that function in the first edition of a game is insane. But yeah, for Alexander, I tried to like keep his outfit, like, you know, I feel that again, he very much mirrors what Mortimer does. So he always looks very smart, and I expect that he's a very intelligent young man. So yeah, I try to keep him in like a suit and tie and try to keep it like, you know, the goth aesthetic. But I thought, how cute does he look in Converse? I feel like that makes it look cool. But yeah, we're coming to the end. Thanks you for watching, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys.